Okay, good afternoon. 12:01 p.m., April 23rd, 2018. I was just tied up there trying to get a few of our members in to do some studying work that are not in the room. Anyway, yeah, I just posted a tweet that basically said, look, 90% of our wins come from this study time. And a super high percentage of these are winners. So, it takes a little work, but it's not just, reviewing the videos or the posts after the fact. It's the process of how, you come up with it and being able to ask questions and that kind of thing. So anyway, couple quick announcements. May 4th through 6th is our boot camp, trade coaching boot camp. We have 2 spots left in person. That's the one in Boca Chica, Dominican Republic on the beach. Beautiful location. There's 2 spots left. Online, you can also attend, and of course, there's unlimited spots for that. The other thing is our sale, 30% off until the end of the month, is on, and but there's only 10 promo codes per item that are listed on the website, so you'd have to go take a look for that. We start coding our algorithms in May. We've got 3 hires done, and they'll be coding the algorithms and posting alerts to the private Twitter feeds. There's a big swing trading special report out this week for our swing platform and our crypto platform members. Watch for that. That'll be mid to late week. That's all related to crypto equities. Big report coming out on that we're compiling. And there's a bunch of other stuff, but that's all I can remember right now. So we're going to get at it. If you have any charts that you want me to review, put them in nice and quick, because I've got my portfolio of equities I want to review up on the board, so I'm going to fly through them here really quick. Just so you know, oil is setting up on the daily for a possible long side trade. It's a little funky. I like to win when I trade oil. As you may or may not know, I have a super high win rate, and it's just not perfect, so I'm not going to take it, but it's definitely a bull advantage right now intraday. I'm watching I can't show you the Epic oil algorithm model, but I can show you my 30-minute simple charting that I use in conjunction with it. Squeeze momentum's trending up, MACD just turned up, and stock RSI is a little high. This is the 30-minute. It's up over the 220, testing the 50, and I'm looking for it up over the 100, and for the 100 to get underneath. Basically, the MA is to get on the right side like this, 20, 50, 100, and 200. I want to see another pop like that. For some reason, I just don't think it's going to happen, but we'll see. So that's oil. Yeah, I'll leave it at that for oil. Another one that I'm watching really close right now is NETE. Now the chart structure is a little sloppy, but it's at the same time it's got an aggressive structure to it. Squeeze momentum on the daily did turn green. MACD is trending. Stock RSI is a little high, but this is one that's on our report, and we've got our eye very close on it. I'm thinking there's a very high possibility that you see 1207 in a week to 10 days, but that's pending a whole bunch of things that'll be in that report that is out later this week. So we trade in accordance to price action based on models, right? ZDGE, this is one that's on the board today, up 7.19%. This weekly chart structure is crazy bullish. So we are watching this very close for a breakout long. I'm just going to alarm this really quick. I love this chart structure. That's ZDGE, up into the $4 range as it gets closer to $4. This is something that I'm definitely going to be scaling into. But here again, you got to make sure you know your trading plan. But this is a basic alert. Like, this chart structure is extremely aggressive. It is very much bull advantage, easily 10 to 1. This is a weekly chart, but it's just got to prove itself out just a little more. Oil is getting a serious jump here while I'm talking. TSG, so this is a weekly chart threatening a breakout. This is the stars group. and the volume is at 848,000 on the day, trading 32.95, up 12.46%. Very aggressive, bullish chart, and we're looking for a breakout play in it. There's really no technical to give you other than up over previous highs. Then you've got to build your structure. And if you don't know how to chart proper structure so that you win the majority of the time, you can either take some private coaching from me, come to one of the classes, or go to our YouTube channel, and there's a ton of raw, footage on there. And we have some webinars coming up too. But anyway, this is a weekly chart. It's TSG, one of my favorite looking charts on the day, and it's beasting today at 12.46% and threatening previous high breakout. And I think it's going to go, but we'll see. That's my trader bias. Let it prove out. Pardon me. ETH, so Ethereum, we alerted the buy side over the 200. I'm going to start adding in here. Excuse me. Oil, by the way, is getting up near resistance on the model. Intraday, it's trading 68.06. That's on FX, US oil, WTI. And that's going to start getting into a cluster of resistance. And we'll see how it proves out. Pardon me. It was a long night last night. ETH over the 100 MA, and it's gone. Right now we're trading it to the 100 MA on the daily, scaling in accordance to the model. This is a simple chart, but anyway, that's our trading zone. We're extremely biased to the long side. If you look at my personal Twitter feed, you'll see that we nailed this bottom in crypto. We've nailed every top and every bottom, and I just don't say that. We record everything. We post everything. It's not just talk. We've got our models have got a great lock on crypto, and of course we're going to start machine trading here very soon. HEAR. I hate the idea of looking at this for a possible trade, but I can't ignore it. It's a day trader's favorite, so there's things about the way it trades that, well, here's the bottom line. You got to be good. You got to know what you're doing, or you're going to get sliced up, unless you're willing to hold and possibly take a big loss if it goes the wrong way. But there's experts in here. Expert day traders love this one. There's lots of room, margin. Your resistance is going to come in when that 200 MA on the weekly meets price. So where's that going to be? Around $7. Do I think it's going to fail before then? Likely not. I think there's an extremely high advantage to the bulls here. So this is another one that I would at least put 5 to 1 risk reward on, if not 10 to 1. I mean, it's really high. It's not quite as good as the other two that I really liked on the day today, but anyway, up over $5 with some structure on lower time frames. I would start to scale in, and that's what my trading plan is. TAN, T-A-N. This one is looking for a breakout over previous highs. It's trading 25.25. It's a little bit of a difficult structure, but here's what I've got alarmed. That purple line there, that's the 50 MA. When that breaches the 100 MA and prices, that's my buy trigger. So here's oil hitting all kinds of resistance points in that cluster. Very bullish intraday. I'm watching for it to run right into the quad wall, and I'll probably short. It depends if I'm around at the time, but I'm looking for a short here fairly soon. So that's TAN. AMMJ. This is one covered on our swing trading platform. I can't show you the model off the swing trading platform, but I can tell you that the structure without even the algorithmic model is decent. Right now, if price could just get up over these MAs, and these MAs could straighten out a little bit, so you got the 20 and the 50, 100, and the 200 all on the right side, that's what you're looking for. So I'm looking for price above the MAs to hold on a day without dropping below them, and that's a buy trigger for me. So I'm just going to set an alarm here. And we'll see if we can get that. So that's AMMJ. Snap. Snap's not the easiest stock to trade. I've traded it a few times. It's structurally difficult, but there is a setup starting here. If it gets up over that 100, it should be good to the 50, up over the 50, and we should see a bit of a pop. I've got it all alarmed. I'm not super confident in it, but it's worthy of a note, and it probably will get its pop. You can see how it happened here last time, and it gapped up, and I guess we'll see. NVO. So NVO is under the 200 on the weekly. It's been under pressure. It lost its 50, 20, and 200. It's still got the 100 to go, and I'm looking for a short into the 100 and then maybe a pop or a continuation. But I'm definitely looking for a short side scenario. So I'm watching very, very close, and I've got it alarmed. VLRX. VLRX is not my favorite kind of chart. It's structurally a disaster. But here's what I like about it. The last 3 or 4 days, all that volume. Now, day traders love it, so you got to be really careful. You see these candles, you get chopped up if you don't know what you're doing. The bottom line is you got to be able to come down on all your time frames: 1, 3, 5, 15 minute, 30 minute, 1 hour, 4 hour, and be able to trade alongside the best in the world if you day trade it. Now, sure, there's outlier systems that can work, but things are getting so sophisticated, and there's so much AI and IA and intelligent assisted trading going on that it's very, very difficult for people that are using simple trading systems in these day trading vehicles that the best of the world are in. Yes, some people can do it, but those are outliers, and that's maybe 3%, maybe. And you got to think how long they've been doing it, what's their skill set, and that kind of thing. So be very cautious. But I got to tell you, this is definitely one that I'm watching for not only day trades, but I'm thinking it could firm up and turn into an excellent swing. It's got a number of characteristics, without me explaining them all, that cause me to think, and the biggest one is the volume, caused me to think that there's a high probability that we're going to get at least a measured move, if not a double or a triple extension on this one. Not as excited as the first two I went through, even the third of these aggressive chart structures, but still like it. RTA is watching for a washout snapback on this. It's down 68%. I'm not particularly excited about it, but because of it, the viciousness of this washout, I can't help but watch. Oil's up against its first resistance on the quad wall, and we'll see how it handles here. Okay. So that's PRTA. I'm just, it's a simple washout snapback play. You'd have to follow it through with me if I end up taking a trade in this and modeling it. You can look at my recent Facebook trade or my recent Netflix trade to get a feel for, or even the S&P. Those three for sure in the recent washout will give you an idea. But if I start to enter, I model it and I know exactly where I'm going to be in and out and trimming and adding and that kind of thing. Anyway, on watch for a washout snapback play. Bitcoin, so this is an XBT USD chart. These are the Bitcoin swaps, USD swaps, BitMEX. So the bottom line here is that we've got a target up top at in around 98.50, April 28th. We've got another target here, 88.70, same date. We've got another target, 78.70, same date. The way these targets work in these quads is that these horizontal lines are all support and resistance. These diagonal lines, those blue lines, are support and resistance. And this is a time cycle peak. Why is that important? In the time cycle peak, typically price will hit either the apex of the quad, the inverse apex of the quad, or the mid quad. The mid quad is the pivot, so this green line here going across this is the pivot on it. So you can see how it's pivoting. Price trade is rotating around that pivot, and it's either going to conclude to this target, conclude to the lower bearish target, or conclude to the sideways target. Once it gets up over the next fib, it starts to confirm over this fib, so then we trim into the resistance and add above and then off to the target. And that's why we win so much. So if you ever want a tour of my alerts and calls, I can take you to the timestamp feeds and you can decide for yourself what our win rate looks like. But I bet you would have you'd be hard pressed to find a win rate near ours in on those feeds. Okay, so that's Bitcoin, and those are the possible targets. You just trade, up over there, and you're trading that way. Sideways, you're trading here. That loses 8,800 or so, and you're trading down there. But each and every support and resistance along the way is a confirmation. So that's Bitcoin. The other thing about Bitcoin, so that last chart was a day trading chart. This chart is the daily, so it's a wider swing chart. There is divergence on the swing trading algorithm model where price is above the channel. Now remember, these channels, all of this is charted in advance, right? So it's like GPS. This isn't charted after the trade has happened like conventional charting. This is all charted in advance. So if it in fact goes and reverses up, we know the channel. This is the channel, and so we're watching it. Same thing with the three targets, and this would be then resistance, and this would then be support. The 200 MA is above, so is the 100 MA. So it's got resistance, but it's up over this channel that it was making its way down on. And if you look at this really close, you'll see that this channel is not the channel that a typical chartist would chart. But we know from the models, modeling where the channel wall is, and so this is a little different conventional charting, although it's similar. So anyway, we're looking for a break upside, of course watching 100 and 200 MA close, and then this mid quad here at, what does that say, 98.63 or so is huge resistance. If it's up over that, it stays for an amount of time, it could be gone. But here, so here's up over a mid quad, and its first real test into these horizontal lines, resistance points, and it failed. So it's got to get up over the first one, and that's how these tests on these quads work. This is how the machines are programmed to trade. We're just sorting that out for our traders so that they can trade along with and compete half decently. S&P, we called this all the way through. So here's that snapback washout. So here's the washout. We were in all over this, added above all the resistance. So into the resistance we trimmed, add above, trim, add above, hit the targets, and fell out of the structure a little bit here. Got up over the 200 MA, and then when it was up here, we knew it was divergent because it didn't hit this target, so it was more bullish than it should have been. We alerted that to the members, in fact to the world, I think, and sure enough it came off, and now today it's back to where the original target was at 268. The problem is that's now resistance, and there's the 20 MA right in around along with price. There's the 50, so it's got some challenges here, but it's getting squeezed between the 100 and the 20 right now, and we'll see where it concludes, either to the upside or downside. Your next target, if it concludes to the upside, is going to be 273.20 on April 30th to the downside, 262.67 on April 30th, and of course your mid quad 267.94. So if it starts trading down, there's your target. If it gets up over this resistance, there's your target. And if it just coils around this pivot of the quad, it'll end up in the middle there. My bias in the structure is to this upper target, but I did alert to the world that we could expect a rest, and this is what I was talking about. Okay, I don't see any charts in the room. This is the last one that I wanted to review on the day. So it's 12:22. I'm going to call that midday, and I'll be around this afternoon. If you guys need anything, send me an email, info@compoundtrading.com. Thanks.